Hello, welcome to the West Ham Way YouTube. Myself, Mark Carlaw, here to present a show on the preview to the Leicester game. But to be honest with you, we haven't talked about a couple of other topics, and I kind of want to mention them first. First one's David Moyes. Obviously, the situation surrounding him. There's obviously a lot of noise around the club and fans and unrest, which is completely understandable. And also, we want to talk about the Blackburn game as well in midweek, which is obviously very disappointing. So, firstly, on David Moyes, I mean, I was at the Crystal Palace game. I thought we were really poor overall. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk surrounding the situation beside Ben Rama's substitution in particular. Um, I, I actually really am really disappointed the way that Moyes is treating Ben Rama overall. I think we've all seen it now for quite a long time since he's been at the club. Moyes just seems to be continually calling him out. I don't know why. Even I think 2 weeks ago, he called him out on his bad English, and he wasn't even talking about Ben Rama. I just threw him that comment out about he's not very good at English, which I've actually seen him. I've seen him speak. He seems okay. So I don't understand it. What's going on? I don't think many fans do. But the real gripe for me, and I'm sure fans will share my opinion on this, is his comment towards the fans afterwards to suggest that if you didn't hear it, basically he said. When asked about the Ben Rama substitution and the fact that the fans were booing, his response was, "Well, there's a lot of experts in the crowd today, wasn't there?" Sort of shrugged it off with a laugh, I really take offence to that. Really, things like that wind me up. Fans are entitled to their opinion, and two, we're not stupid. The fans aren't stupid. We're not morons. We understand football. At the end of the day, if you've got 50,000 people booing your decision, then maybe you've got to start considering the fact that maybe it's not the right decision. I'm not suggesting that we're all above David Moyes, but we're entitled to an opinion. And at the end of the day, I don't care what he thinks. Ben Rama was one of the better players that day. It was a bad day, but ultimately he was one of the better players. And I think that goes throughout this whole season. I think if we were to have Hammer of the Year tournament tomorrow or competition tomorrow, I think he'd be up there and could possibly win it. So I don't understand the situation with Ben Rama and Moyes. I just don't get it. And so much so that it's actually getting to a stage where you actually call it kind of bullying, because Moyes then came out at the end of the game and suggested, even though that Ben Rama scored the goal, said, and he said, he scored a good goal, but he didn't do much after that. I just don't get it. I just don't get that point. But so there's two things that really have bugged me. The one, the Ben Rama comment, and especially the one against the fans, which, again, I'll tell you what I'm really struggling with it, is that Moyes has the backing of the fans. I mean, I can't remember the last manager that West Ham have had that has had enough backing of the fans. I mean, we chant his name. Even in the Palace game, David Moyes' Claret Blue Army was being chanted in the section I was in for long periods. He's been backed by the board. He still is being backed by the board. So I don't get it. I don't understand the strange attitude that's coming from David Moyes at the moment. And I'm getting a little bit fed up with it, to be honest. Then we went on to the Blackburn game. Very poor. I wasn't actually there, though. I'll be honest. I didn't have a ticket for the game. I've seen the highlights. I've looked through it, and I've spoken to a few people that were there, and so it was very bad. Really disappointing, obviously. And what's so frustrating is that would have been the perfect lift. Do you know what I mean? It just would have been the perfect tonic just before we go and play a crucial game against Leicester, just to have that lift to get into the next round. And typical of West Ham as well. Just when Arsenal get knocked out, Tottenham get knocked out, Chelsea knocked out, Liverpool and City have been drawn together, and we're out of it. And you just think, it's so frustrating. But again, we deserve to lose against Palace, in my opinion. We didn't deserve anything out of that, I don't think. Although they got a lucky, goal in terms of deflection, but they were the better team for me for long periods of that game. And for what I understand, Blackburn as well were worthy of the winners. And congratulations to Blackburn Rovers, because it's good to see a team, Championship, come up to the Premier League and give it a go. And they put out their B team. And that's another thing. The fact that we're kind of trying to spin it as well, that, we played our second team. Come on, that was a Premier League side we put out there. And, it's for me, that's embarrassing to lose that game. It is what it is. We've lost it now. We need to draw a line and forget about it, because the next thing is Leicester. Before I go into the Leicester game, I just want to go back to Moyes a little bit. Now, I don't know whether people have seen it, but before I've recorded this, Moyes has spoken to the press ahead of the game. And I want to get this comment up actually, but I do actually know it. I do memorize it, but I just want to get the league table up as well. So David Moyes has come out and said another comment that's really irked me. So when he was talking about the match and how well Leicester have done, again, another strange comment came out of David Moyes' mouth. He said, yeah, Leicester are doing very well. On the same points as us, though, so we can't be doing that bad. Or something along those lines. It wasn't exactly word for word that, but something along those lines. What on earth are you talking about? Like, what on earth comment is that? What are we supposed to take from that, the fans? Yeah, good point. You know, you're only 2 points off relegation, so we must be doing all right. What? I just don't understand. I don't get it. I'm really struggling to understand the attitude. And it's almost as if this really echoes Sam Allardyce's period before he left the club, this kind of arrogant side. And I just don't like it. I really don't like it. I didn't think Moyes was like that. And really getting a little bit fed up with it, to be honest with you. These silly, strange comments. Say what you want to say. Say what the fans want to hear. We're not doing that well. We're not happy with our position, okay? And we're going to do everything we can to turn it around. And we've got, breed some confidence into the club. Say that we're going to turn this around. This will get better. We will have a good season. I think if our fans heard that, they'd feel a bit better. It's the fact that we're just getting these sort of strange digs and as if to sort of say, one, we're idiots, and two, we're not doing that bad. Well, anyway, that's my Moyes rant over. Let's go on to the Leicester game then. So, Leicester City. This is a crucial match. A must win. I know I say that pretty much every week, but this really is. I mean, the reason being more so is that we've got a World Cup break. We've got, 6 or 7 weeks of no football after this, Premier League football. And, the idea of us going into that break, coming off the back of another defeat at home, and sending us even further towards the mire is just it's not even worth thinking about, because it will just mean that we've got this horrible cloud hanging over us. And then also, by the way, Arsenal waiting on Boxing Day. So this is a crucial game. West Ham have to perform well, have to get the result. It's just, they have to. There's no getting around it. And it's going to be interesting, actually. And one thing I'm very, very interested to see, and I was quite surprised to see happen as well against the Palace game, was the Souček substitution. Seeing Flynn Downs come on for Souček, which I actually think it's got a bit of a statement, actually. So I actually think that's one I'm going to look at. I'm not necessarily saying Souček won't start. I think he will, but I still think it sows a seed a little bit that maybe Moyes is realising, I need to change his midfield. This isn't quite working. And it isn't. It isn't working. A lot of things aren't. I really, really hope that we see. I really want people to realise I really want Moyes to do well. I really want him to turn this around. I'm not anti-Moyes at all. I'm a bit pissed off at the moment, like we all are, and with certain comments and things are winding me up. But I'm still behind him. I really want him to do well. And I really would love him to, what a way. If we could say, let's just say we beat Leicester 3-0, let's just say, it would just lift everybody, wouldn't it? It would just give us all a big boost, and it would set us up lovely, because we'd all go to the break going, okay, that's better. We can now look forward to the second half of the season. In my gut feeling, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that, I'm not expecting that kind of performance or result. I'm not going to predict it this week. The reason for that is because I just don't feel that confident going in. I don't want to start suggesting we're going to lose the game. I just want to kind of go into it thinking, you know what, I really hope they prove me wrong. I really am hoping that they do well and put in a good shift, because we really need it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the game. I'm interested to see how Moyes sets it up. I think he's got to start being a bit more daring. I really do. I mean, you've got the situation with Scamacca isn't really working, in my opinion. The system isn't quite working. He needs to get a system that works and just admit that this isn't working, because we're trying and it's just not happening, is it? And yeah, it's going to be he's got to get tomorrow right in every aspect. He's got to park this loyalty thing and trust thing that he's got with certain players, that I only play them, I only play this system. You're going to have to just go, no, do you know what? This isn't really working now. I'm going to have to just scrap this now, this policy, and move on and really try and make something happen, because I really hope they've been working hard this week, the players, because we desperately need to see a good performance. It's been a long time. I mean, dare I say, I can't remember the last time in the league, we played really well. I really can't. So, Yeah, it's needed. If it's going to happen, this is the perfect time for it to happen. Although, coming off the back of 2 defeats, let's be honest, our confidence levels are not going to be high. And what frightens me more is that if we go behind early on, you could see it will turn toxic there. So let's really hope that doesn't happen. But no, I'm still fully behind the manager, and I'm really hoping that we see a good performance tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Cheers.